the Trump administration wrongfully deported a Maryland man despite an immigration judge having granted him withholding of removal. Trump's own lawyers said that the deportation was an accident, and the Supreme Court ordered that the Trump administration facilitate the man's release from the custody in El Salvador and to ensure that his case is handled as it would have been had he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. Nevertheless, the Trump administration has ignored the Supreme Court and done nothing. That poor man is still rotting in a jail in El Salvador, and his family is suffering, having lost a husband, father, and provider. Congress must not enable such lawlessness and fascist fanatism. If we do not stop it now, there will be no democratically elected Congress to stop it later.
The gentlewoman from Georgia is recognized for 5 minutes on her minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Biden administration created one of the most damaging national security threats our country has ever faced. They allowed over 12 million illegals from over 170 countries and territories to break our laws, invade our country, rape our women and children, and murder our own people. Now Democrats are fighting against the Trump administration, fighting against deportations of people who broke our laws, who are members of the cartel, and they're protesting every single day for these cartel members to be brought back in America, which is a national security risk. 2 million of these illegals that the Biden administration and Democrats welcomed into the country are known gotaways who completely evaded U.S. authorities and are roaming the interior of the United States. Included in these 12 million are special interest aliens, also known as SIAs. Special interest aliens are individuals who pose a potential national security risk to the United States, typically from a nation that promotes terrorist activity or harbors terrorists. Under the Biden-Harris administration, there were at least 1.7 million special interest aliens from 26 countries encountered at our border. This does not include the potential SIAs among the 2 million known gotaways. I say at least because the true scope of how many SIAs remains largely unknown, since DHS is not required to disclose this critical information publicly. The American people deserve to know how many potential terrorists are coming across the border and which countries they are from, which is exactly what my bill does. And I can't imagine how anybody across the aisle can even argue with this. According to the former Chief Border Patrol agent of the San Diego sector, prior to the Biden-Harris administration, the sector averaged only 10 to 15 SIAs arrests per year. He testified, once word was out that the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more that this year. And that's the ones that they knew of. The number of special interest aliens skyrocketed over the last 4 years, and even more egregiously, the Biden administration tried to cover it up. The administration of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Secretary Mayorkas, impeached by the House, by the way, told the chief's Border Patrol agent of the San Diego sector that he was prohibited from releasing any of this information on the increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests at the time. That's unbelievable. The administration tried to convince the public that there was no threat at the border. They were complicit in covering up the invasion at our border. The American people deserve to know the number of potential terrorists Kamala Harris and Joe Biden allowed to come in the United States. They also deserve to know the numbers under the Trump administration to see a president who cares about the American people secure the border. That is why I'm urging the support for my legislation, which would require DHS to publicly release information each month on the number of SIA encounters, as well as countries of origin. Thankfully, President Trump has secured our border and restored our nation's sovereignty. Given the number of border crossings is down 94%, border crossings are down 94%, down to the lowest monthly levels ever recorded.